Cops. Officers of the night or day, sworn by the allegiance that they must serve and protect. But what if these cops encounter unusual phenomena? Phenomena that's unexplainable, phenomena that you can't explain yourself. These are ghost stories from cops. The Shadow Woman. I've related this before, but as part of my reserve training, I had to pull a 12-hour shift in corrections. Our county facility is old. Anyway, it was med call, so the nurse had opened up the little clinic. And we went to each cell block and had inmates line up to get their meds. After that was finished, the nurse left, the clinic was closed, and all of the inmates were back in their cell blocks. I secured the last block, and as I turned back towards the clinic, I saw the shadow on the floor of someone crossing back to the clinic. I dashed around the corner, thinking an inmate had managed to avoid being secured and was sneaking into the clinic. There was no one there. The shadow had been absolutely distinct. One of the other COs laughed and said, "Oh, that's just Miss Rose. She's been hanging around for years here." It creeped me out pretty good. Myself and a buddy on my squad responded to an alarm. The incident location was an old office-type building that had been converted to doctors' offices. There was a pharmacy attached to it. Our dispatch received a motion signal from an upstairs office. Keyholder arrives on scene and we go in to secure the building. The stairs were locked behind a door that, of course, the keyholder didn't have keys to. So we took the elevator up to the second floor. Not the most technically sound option, I know. Elevator opens to a pitch black hallway, except for one overhead light at the end of the hall. We start checking doors, and so far all are secured. We get to that last office, and sure enough, the door is unlocked. We make entry and observe it to be an unused office. The door opened to a sizable waiting room and reception area. There were about 10 or 12 exam rooms, all cleared with no hiccups. We exit the office, and immediately, something seems off. That is when I realized the overhead light at our end of the hallway that had always been on was now off, replaced by another light over by the elevators. I look at my squad mate, and he is completely white. I ask him what is wrong, and he says, "Weren't all those doors we just checked closed and locked?" I tell him, "Yeah, so?" But he says, "Well, now they're all standing open." Sure enough, all the offices down the hallway we had just checked were now standing open. Pucker factor sinks in at this point. So we start clearing the offices and securing offices. We finish the last office, and on our way out, just before we turn to the corner to get into the waiting area, the main door just slams shut. Then our radios start going nuts with some kind of static feedback. Now I just want to get the hell out of there. We get back into the elevator and head down to the first floor to make contact with the keyholder again. However, keyholder is nowhere to be found. I contact dispatch, and request a callback number for the key holder so I can advise him of what we had found. Dispatch states that the key holder was still en route to us and was advising an ETA of 5 minutes. I advised dispatch that we already had been out of the key holder. Dispatch requests I give them a call. I call dispatch, and she tells me that there's no way we were out with the key holder. She states that the alarm company had just only made contact with the one. Eventually, the real key holder arrives on the scene, and I ask her about the man that had let us out in the building, the first key holder. She asked me to describe him, so I did. She states that sounds like one of the doctors that used to lease the office on the second floor at the end of the hall. She then states that he had committed suicide at his summer home several days ago. I still won't go back there.